In Episode 4 of Season 3 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Paul Wesley reveals the details of his hilarious William Shatner mimic. Jonathan Frakes directed the humorous holodeck episode A Space Adventure Hour, in which the ensemble of Strange New Worlds plays exaggerated hologram characters enmeshed in a Hollywood murder case from the 1960s. Maxwell Saint is the character that Wesley portrays in A Space Adventure Hour. The Last Frontier, a canceled science fiction adventure television series that was partially modeled on Star Trek, the original series, stars Saint as its swaggering lead. How Paul Wesley inspired William Shatner in Episode 4 of Season 3 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Paul Wesley's portrayal of Maxwell Saint in Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3, Episode 4 is a loving tribute to William Shatner's Captain Kirk. From his open uniform that exposes his chest to his exaggerated diction that his co-stars and producers make fun of and ask him to speak like a real person, Paul Wesley purposefully avoided giving a William Shatner impersonation when he played Lieutenant James T. Kirk in Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Instead, he peppered his young Kirk with allusions and gestures that would later be used by Kirk as the captain of the Enterprise. But Maxwell Saint let Wesley do the Shatner-esque caricature of Kirk that he had otherwise shunned. Following his casting as Kirk in Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Paul Wesley tweeted his approval to William Shatner, and the two Kirk actors have shared the stage in an airplane journey at conventions. Wesley's perception of him has not yet been addressed by Shatner, but the Star Trek icon must undoubtedly get the humor. Our analysis Star Trek William Shatner impression, Odd New Worlds in Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Paul Wesley's Maxwell Saint is one of the highlights of A Space Adventure Hour. Wesley is amusing, whether he's breaking his own captain's chair while attempting the Riker maneuver in the episode's outtakes or arguing with plastic-headed aliens on the USS Adventure's bridge. During the Hollywood murder case that Lieutenant Laan Noonien Singh Christina Chong investigated on the holodeck, Maxwell Saint was equally hilarious as an insecure leading guy, as was Saint's frustration at being charged with murder and his mistrust of Lieutenant Spock Ethan Peck, Laan's companion. Paul Wesley has done a great job as Lieutenant James T. Kirk, echoing Captain Kirk from William Shatner without making an overt imprint. Paul Wesley, as Maxwell Saint, garnered some of the most chuckles in the show as he experimented with the layman's conception of William Shatner's Captain Kirk in Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I became aware that Captain James Kirk's Paul Wesley appointment as the USS Enterprise's captain is unfair to Captain Christopher Pike's Anson Mount other successor after seeing Shuttle to Kenfori in Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3, Episode 3. Kirk is supposed to be Pike's successor according to Star Trek canon. However, another Starfleet officer should also hold the position. Captain Pike spends the most of Shuttle to Kenfori, traveling to Kenfori with Dr. Joseph Mbenga Babsolusan Mokun, to try to find a treatment for Captain Marie Battelle Melanie Scrofano. Commander Una Chin Riley, Rebecca Romijn, often known as Number 1, is left in charge of the Starship Enterprise after Pike leaves, and she must make some difficult choices. In Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3, Episode 3, Number 1 demonstrated her exceptional leadership skills. Una had previously been left in command of the Enterprise when Pike is away, but Shuttle to Kenfori demonstrates that Number 1 is an excellent captain in Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3, Episode 3. Commander Chin Riley's leadership style strikes a balance between her crew's safety, whether they are on the bridge or away, and strategic command decisions. Number 1 puts everyone's safety on the Enterprise first, as demonstrated by Una's choice to play it safe in the face of a Klingon cruiser that might be hiding nearby. Even though Captain Pike and Dr. Mbenga are stuck on Kenfori, Una knows they are competent officers, therefore it's a difficult but wise decision. Even if Kirk will succeed Pike as Enterprise's captain, it is still unfair to Number 1. With good reason, James Kirk will succeed Pike as Enterprise's captain. Lieutenant Kirk is already establishing himself as the outstanding commander we know he will be in Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Paul Wesley has the talent to carry the show as a deserving replacement for Anson Mount's Pike, if the rumors regarding Star Trek Year 1 are accurate. However, James Kirk's achievements in Strange New Worlds' future do not take away from Number 1's leadership qualities. The one appearance of Major Barrett Roddenberry as Number 1 in Star Trek's first pilot, The Cage, has been surpassed by Commander Chin Riley in Strange New Worlds. Because of her complex nature, Una should have her own command. We can only hypothesize about what Number One's future holds, because nothing in the Star Trek canon clearly states what Commander Chin Riley's future will be after Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. At the conclusion of the 5-year mission in Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, perhaps, Una will have her own command. Number One deserves it, even if it isn't the Enterprise.